Hi, I'm Michael Buchwalder. You join me here today at the fabulous Barston Lakes in Birmingham for what is essentially my first ever day out filming with map. I can't come on here and say this is the best rod I've ever used in my life, because I've not used it enough to say that. What I'm going to do is go through the kit I've chosen, why I've chosen it, and the key benefits that I think are going to improve my fishing over the next coming years. As I said before, I've not done any fishing at all with these map rods. I've got the Ultra 2 today, 11 foot. It's a 25 to 35 gram rod. I'm putting it through its paces today. I think it's a rod that's going to suit most of my fishing places like Tamar and here. So I'm going to go through what I like about the rod and how I think I'll be using it in my armoury. It's probably my most used tool. First of all, we all love a rod that looks nice. The handle for me is just fantastic looking, really blingy. Got a little bit gold encrustment around here. It just looks like a really expensive, nice rod. Going up the blank, it's a real great finish on the rod. It's like a proper old carbon effect. And the eyes are really good, but the most important thing to talk to you about for me, and it's the most important thing about feeder fishing, is the tips. It's no good having It's no good having a really good rod if you've got a tip that you can't work out what's happening on the bottom. The tip for me needs to start moving at the top eye and slowly go around, not as in one movement. We'll just quickly net him. A little skimmer. Typical of Barston Lakes. It's absolutely full of these at the moment. Right down its throat. Perfect little fish. The reason I'm coming to Barston is these skimmers are quite finicky, so I'm fishing a running rig today, and the bites are just like this. They're not going off the rest. You've got to watch the bites, and by having a tip that's right for the job, it makes it so much easier. Just quickly rebait this, and we'll put it back out again. We'll go for a couple of quick maggots on there now. Just a quick little tip. Always use live maggots on the hook. Just roll them with my finger, just because I think they keep the colour a little bit better. Quickly put her out. Carry on. As I was saying, I might have to stop fishing and talk to you in a second, because bites here at Barston are quite frantic and coming really quickly. I've gone for the Ultra 2 range of rods, just because of the fact I spoke to a lot of anglers associated with map and not associated with map, and the reviews have been outstanding. Until I can get on board in like 18 months down the line, I can put my own mark on what I think is right in a rod. I've got to use something that map produce. And for me, going through them all in the office a few weeks ago before I picked my gear up, this is the range of rods, the Ultra 2s, that I'm going to be looking to use mostly. Going to use the jewels in a 13.2 and a 13.8 for my distance fishing, places like Barston, when I got chucked to the island like down here, places like Boddington, Staunton, Harold, and most of all on the Loch Earn in Ireland. Over there you need a rod that's not going to let you down, and I've been out and I've had a chuck with the jewels. I've borrowed a couple of jewels off a guy near me, and I've been out and I can fish them at 100 metres in a decent wind, no problem at all. So I'm pretty certain I'm sat on a range now. Today's all about testing that out and seeing if I'm happy with it, and just going through the motions and making sure everything's right for me. That's a carver. Proper job. You're joining me back now, just as my session's about to come to a close. I've had a really interesting session. The bites have not been off the rest every single time. I had to work at it, pull the feeder a little bit, but tip selection today has been really, really vital. Some of the bites have been like hardly know they're on, and other times you pick up and there's no fish on there. So having a real light tip at Barston today, especially today, I know there's not a lot of wind about, but there's, for some reason, it's such a shallow venue, there's a lot of tow. So I've had to fish like an ounce tip today rather than a half ounce I'd not like to fish. Otherwise the tip would have been right round, I'd have seen nothing at all. So really interesting day. Absolutely love the rod to bits, see myself using this all the time throughout the summertime. Join me at the bank now. I've got 2 more rods I've chosen to use. I'm going to show you why I want to use them. I'll show you some of the key benefits. I think it'll really open your eyes. I'm quickly going to go through my choice of rod for real short fishing now, from 6 metres up to about 15 metres. I've picked 2 different rods. They're both in the parabolics range. One's the Black Edition. It's a 10-foot bomb rod. Bomb rod, don't let it be fooled to think it's bomb only. It's a really, really progressive action rod, really soft. And the reason I've chose that one is places like Tamar and Barston, when you're skimmer fishing, you want to be able to pick up the rod bend the whole way around and really, really minimise hook pulls. So it's really, really important for that. And this rod here is ultra, ultra soft. I've then chose for a roach rod. I know it seems a bit funny, but a roach rod is a bit different to a skimmer rod. It needs to be stiffer in the top section. So when you hook a fish, you can literally strike into it and you don't get the whole rod moving around. You want to hook it straight away. So I've gone for the Parabolics Ultra 2, but I've gone for the SUV stepped up version that's before. It means it's a lot stiffer in the top section, and we've done an experiment to show you this, and without a doubt they're going to be my 2 go-to rods for this year for Tamar and all short fishing like this.